today I'm going to go through some of the equipment that you might have received with your instrument to help you look after your flute. Now, if there's anything that I need to tell you, it is that moisture and flutes just do not go well together. Your pads can get moldy, they can get sticky, and let's just be honest, it's not going to work if your pads don't work. So in order to make sure that your instrument stays in perfect working order, we need to make sure that we clean it regularly. Now, regularly means every single time that you play it. So every time that you play it, you need to get out this Dubalaki, which is your cleaning rod. You'll notice there's a little eye on one end. Now, these can come in wood, in plastic, or metal, and this is used to clean the inside of your flute. So this is your cleaning rod. With your cleaning rod, you will need your cleaning cloth. Now, your cleaning cloth is just a very, very thin and absorbent piece of material. I've actually got a second one here. This is literally an old handkerchief. Now, it's old, it's very thin. I could probably poke my finger through it, to be honest. So these thin cleaning cloths actually go together with your cleaning rod to clean the inside of your flute. So what you need to do, you need to grab your cleaning rod, you need to grab a corner of your cleaning cloth, and then through that hole, you need to make sure that you thread your cleaning cloth. You just want to pull a little bit through so that you can then wrap it over the top of your cleaning rod. Now, this is really important if you have a metal cleaning rod, because if you have a metal cleaning rod, it is more likely to scratch the inside of your flute. The wooden ones and the plastic ones aren't as likely to do that, but if you have a metal one, please make sure that you wrap your cloth over the top of your cleaning rod. Next, you just need to grab the cloth and wrap it along the length of your cleaning rod. And that there is how we use our cleaning cloth and our cleaning rod. Now, next step is you just need to grab your flute and one at a time, just push through the cleaning cloth and the rod and twist around to remove any moisture. Now, you can do this a couple of times if you need to. Just make sure that when you look in this little hole, or if you look through there, there's no more moisture in the instrument. Now, something to be mindful of is once you push your cleaning cloth and your rod through your flute, make sure that you are holding this cloth and the rod when you pull it out, because if you don't and you just pull the rod, you'll find that the cloth will bunch up and it will eventually get stuck. So then we grab our body, same thing, make sure our cloth is wrapped all the way along our stick, slide it up. Now, the body is a little bit longer, so you might need to push it through with your finger, and then you can pull it out the other end. Now, if you want to, you can push it in halfway, but just be mindful, like I said with the head joint, if you start pulling that out, it's going to get to a point where it actually gets stuck. If it gets stuck, please push it back in, grab the cloth and the rod, and pull it out together. Whatever you do, if it gets stuck, don't force it. And then finally, our foot joint. Nice and easy. I highly recommend going through one direction. If you really want to go through one direction and pull it back out, just make sure that you're holding the rod and the cloth. Okay, now that is the cleaning rod and the cleaning cloth. On top of that, you've probably received a really thick piece of fabric. Often they're blue, mine's green. But this here is a polishing cloth. So your polishing cloth is used for the outside of your instrument. So all you want to do is literally put your instrument inside the cloth and then rub it. Now, the idea is that you want to be getting off all of the oils from your fingers, any fingerprints, any dirt, any dust. So this doesn't have to be used every single time that you use your instrument. However, I would recommend doing it maybe once a week or once a month, just to make sure that your flute stays in really good working order. Now, if you don't have a solid silver flute, if you rub this excessively, you will actually rub the silver off your instrument. So as I said, use it lightly. Don't use it every time you play, maybe once a week, once a month, just to remove the fingerprints. If you have really oily skin, in which case your flute tarnishes a lot more easier, it's probably worth grabbing your polishing cloth and just wiping off those fingerprints and the finger oil to make sure that your flute doesn't tarnish. With your body and your foot, which has keys on it, just be cautious with your cloth. Yes, you still want to rub over them, but obviously you're not going to grab it with your fist and just roll backwards and forwards. So just be mindful with anything with keys that you don't ruin or damage or bend the keys with your polishing cloth. So just to go over that once more, we have our cleaning rod. That's the stick with the little hole in it. We have a very thin absorbent cloth called a cleaning cloth that is used for the inside of your flute. And then we have a much thicker polishing cloth, which is used for the outside of your flute. Now remember that every single time that you play this instrument, there will be moisture build up in the inside of the tube, and you must get rid of that. If you don't, your pads will suffer. Pads are the little pieces of fabric or synthetic material underneath the keys which close the hole and make it possible to play this instrument. If you damage those pads, it is very expensive to get them replaced, so it's something that you do not want to be doing. So please make sure that you clean your flute every single time that you play it to remove the moisture. Polishing cloth can be used less regularly. If you have really acidic skin, you might want to be wiping it down every day. If not, then probably do it once a week, once a month, to just remove the fingerprints and any finger oils, dust and dirt and whatnot that may accumulate on the outside of your flute.